We're live.
Are we live?
Yes. Look, it says
It's
start.
on. Oh my God! It says there's 7 viewers.
Hi, internet.
Hey everybody. I'm Phil Yu.
And I'm Jenny Yang.
This is Fresh Off the Air, the unofficial Fresh Off the Boat after show. We started this because we're really excited about Fresh Off the Boat, the sitcom, and we felt the need that people were really excited about this, and we just felt like there was a conversation to be had, I think, and
we're gonna keep it going.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it going. So
that's right. It's like you're hanging out with us in our little makeshift studio. Do you like our set dressing? Oh wait. Hold on. This is yes. Here it is. I just decided to get a Taiwanese snack for us.
Legit. It legitimizes the
because this smells like what? Childhood.
It smells like the Chinese market. We're joined here by our live studio audience. So, thanks so much.
There's like 200 people here.
Yeah,
you don't even
incredible.
see them. It's awesome.
This is totally like a DIY situation. We put this together. We decided just to use a Google Hangout, do all the stuff. We set up the mics, and it's totally like, homemade. But we thought it'd be fun to just keep the dialogue going. So
we had bets on how many people would be watching us.
Yeah.
Right now, 3. Yeah, shout out to the 3 people. Oh shoot, 58.
Oh, it says 58. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess people are into this. Okay.
Can we tell them we had a little bit of a bet?
Yeah.
My bet was that we were gonna have about 50 viewers.
I said 70.
So
we surpassed it. Oh, okay.
We're at 79.
Oh.
80. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, we could do that all night.
So this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna be on the air because this was a double episode. We're gonna talk longer. We're gonna do like maybe 45 minutes to hang out. We're gonna start off. We're gonna review the episodes. We might have even a surprise segment very soon. I wonder what's gonna happen. We'll review the episodes, and then we'll have a segment where we get to review everyone's comments. So this is what you can do if you want to talk to us directly with your thoughts. Asian American-y thoughts, angry Asian American-y thoughts, or just like what you really loved. Go to the YouTube page and you'll notice on the side of our little screen right here, there's going to be a chat function. So when you're logged into Google Plus and you're watching us on the YouTube, you can chat with us. And we have our handy co-producer, Angry Plus One, at Angry Plus One, Joanna, and she'll help to review it. We'll review it. Or if you want to tweet at us, just tweet Fresh Off the Air. Okay? Fresh Off the Air. And we'll try to kind of aggregate everyone's comments and questions for a portion of our Fresh Off the Air episode. Yeah,
we're kind of like I said, this is kind of do it yourself, and so there's a lot of
if we get confused.
This is our first time doing this, so I honestly it's gonna hard to keep track of everything, but we're just
look at that.
Yeah,
shrimp chip.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let me make sure I could review what everyone is saying. But first of all, Phil.
Yeah.
Let's go through episode 3, which was what was that episode?
It was the Shunning. What's the block party episode?
Block party episode. Okay, so much going on in that.
Yeah.
So what did you think? What's the first highlights
for me? I mean, what highlighted the episode was like hella uncomfortable seeing like little Eddie,
groping a woman,
or just like everything with his interaction with this grown woman, and it was. Yeah, it was really weird, uncomfortable to watch. I mean, seeing someone spray Capri Sun on a grown woman was like the most uncomfortable thing I've seen on TV ever. So I don't. Maybe it was supposed to make us feel very awkward, and but I was like, but I also know that the kid who played Hudson Yang, the kid who played Eddie, who's also like really, he's like a kid, and so that also it's like he had to do that, hug this woman, for the show. I guess that's what I feel still very a little bit about that, just.
But here's my thing though. Okay, so I felt 2 ways about that. On the one hand, I feel like, I don't know if little Eddie got his education about how he shouldn't be treating women like that. I don't know if that came out in the episode. Probably not. We have some shaking of the heads in the audience. But I think what's interesting is I have never seen a young Asian teenage boy express these kind of teenage boy straight fantasies. Does that make sense? I don't know. I felt like that's something. That's kind of interesting to me. No?
I think so. But
Like, because every other group gets to like have their coming of age kind of rites of passage type things. You know, even if it's as small as like walking through the VHS tape section that's closed off to like take a peek at the porn covers, you know, for like, I don't know, like a little Asian kid to be the guy doing that. It's like to me, it's a quintessential like American sitcom, family sitcom coming of age trope. And it's like, yeah, we get to see like the Asian kid do that.
I also think like it's the influence of hip hop on him, but he has no idea how to like process that.
I know,
what mean?
that didn't get processed.
It's sort of like, you know, there's always discussions about sort of the misogyny in hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And he's gleaning sort of like, he has no idea about sort of the, I think the implications of what he sees in these videos. And so he just equates, I don't even see him as like desiring this woman. He just sort of sees it as a status, right?
Yeah,
and so
status.
he's not even processing that, I think. Whatever the case, it made for a very like super awkward and weird interaction for this one.
I know. I'm going to add a little something to our screen here.
Yeah.
So don't you worry. Do you guys see everything I'm doing right now? Fresh off the air. Okay, look at this is us being fancy on Google Hangout. Ready? Boom.
Whoa, you did it.
Did it work? Do you guys see it? By the way, if you don't know, there's like a minute lag. Oh, we got no, don't do that.
Okay.
We just kind of come on, Phil. We have to leave it somehow. There we go.
Boom. Okay.
Okay, just so you know, there's like a 1 minute lag between us doing something and you tweeting at us and you chatting with us and us talking and you seeing it. So let me take a look at. Let's see what's going on Fresh Off the Air.
Can we also talk about? I think the Shunning was also about Jessica Huang.
Yes.
And her having a friendship with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, it was
with Honey.
With Honey.
She basically initially shunned Honey, which got a huge groan from our live studio audience here, right?
Right. Well, first we see them connecting.
Yeah, which is great because they're like Stephen King.
Yeah.
Dolores Claiborne. I don't know. How did I say that? But when she rejected Honey for the like suburban ladies, it was really sad.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, no.
I think there's a couple of interesting things happening. One thing that stood out for me is the whole the NASCAR thing.
Yeah.
It is a really great way of doing one of the keys of the comedy in this episode, in that, you know, they're talking about NASCAR, and it's a really interesting way to show how, you know, like in another universe, this would be like, oh, how weird are the Chinese people because they do this and this.
Yes.
But you sort of turn it around and you're like, you know, take a step back and you're like, NASCAR is pretty weird, you know what I mean? And NASCAR is like the most red, white, and blue like Americana thing, you know. And
other than monster truck smashing, I do want to watch monster trucks. Maybe not NASCAR. I want the destruction of cars.
It turns it around on that, and you're like, yo, this is weird. People had a block party to watch just cars go spit around and around and around like 500 times. So. Is
that a thing? Do you guys know if, like, I don't know if anyone in here can speak on behalf of white people who actually do this? Is that a thing? Minnesota? Do they actually would they do a block party though to like watch NASCAR?
Yes.
No, shut up.
I grew up with white people in rural Minnesota.
This is Naomi Coe.
Naomi says she grew up with people in Minnesota.
Rural Minnesota.
No, suburb
Suburb
okay.
Minnesota.
And they had block parties for NASCAR.
They had block parties
NFL.
for NASCAR. Okay, so you watch it. They like pull out a screen and you watch it.
Yeah, in somebody's backyard, and they close off and barricade the streets.
What?
Wow. Okay, so there are NASCAR watch
weird.
parties. This is a whole world that's opened up to me that I was not aware of.
I feel like I'm learning about white people through Fresh Off the Boat.
This is a window into America. Okay, well.
Wow, but so we're going to interrupt our conversation for a second because we actually have a special surprise guest that we're going to call on the phone, you guys. I wonder who it's going to be.
Dial it up.
I hope this works.
So we have no way of patching this actually into the computer, so this is all straight up speakerphone, but
so this is going to be VoIP. So I wonder out there in internet land, can you guys guess who we're going to call right now? A special guest? Oh, I'm scared. I hope this works. Oh, I hope it works. Keep asking us questions with the hashtag fresh off the air, okay? And we'll be aggregating it for when we actually review everything. Here we go. Oh God, I'm nervous. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put it on speaker. It sounds janky, but when it's on, it'll be good. Look at how gross
I
that
hope people
sounds.
can hear it.
No, I'll turn it
Hold
up.
up. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, is this CS Lee?
This is.
CS. Hey, you're live on the air with Phil and Jenny.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hi, C.S. Lee.
We got CS Lee. He played Uncle Steve on tonight's second episode of Fresh Off the Boat.
We have a live studio audience here, quote unquote studio of 12 of us.
And it looks like we got about 97 people watching the show, or 98. So, CS, thanks for joining us, man.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me, CS?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great.
Yeah.
So you played Uncle Steve, and I was just wanted to ask, like, how'd you feel about that particular episode, and being part of the show?
When I read the script for that episode, I thought it was one of the funniest scripts I ever read. I initially did go out for the role that Randall played in the pilot, and I wasn't too crazy about the pilot, but the stuff that happens in episode 4 with the dynamic of the grandmas and the sisters and my character, I thought it was really funny, and of course the kids are always funny. I actually haven't seen that episode 4 yet. I'm on my DVR watching. We just watched the 3rd episode, so
Okay.
I'm gonna get off the phone with you guys and watch the episode. So how was
So
it?
you haven't even seen it.
Have not seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
You were great.
Well, you were awesome in it, and you're rocking some really sweet hair in that episode. People who might know CS from Dexter, where you're rocking considerably less hair, and
Masuka.
That's right.
what was it like rocking that success perm?
It was great, man. It took me back in the day. I think I actually in elementary school, when maybe 4th or 5th grade, I had a perm.
What?
Back in the 80s. I remember getting a perm.
Very nice.
So it took me back. It was nice to have feeling up there again.
Did you ever take that success perm wig for a spin in real life?
I just very well might. Next time I go in there, I might have to steal it and go down memory lane again.
CS, I was on set that same day that you shot you rolling up in the Miata. People don't know that was actually you driving the Miata doing those donuts and stuff, right?
What?
Yeah, I was doing some donuts. I hadn't planned on it. They asked me if I drove a stick. I said sure. I got there and I saw the Miata. Of course, I knew it was a Miata because that was in the script. And then when I got there, they were like, take it for a spin. So I took it for a spin. I was like, okay, I'm good. And then first take was the take that you saw of me doing donuts. And if I had known, maybe I would have practiced a little better and did a little bit better, some drifting or something. But it was a little scary. I kind of freaked myself out too. I was like, I didn't know I was going to do that, but I did. And I was like, good thing I didn't kill anyone.
That was when I saw it happening. I was like, is that CS in the car? It is. It totally. I thought it was for a moment. It was a stunt driver. But that was actually you rocking in that cul-de-sac.
Yeah, it was me. I didn't even know there was a stunt driver actually.
Yeah. He's like, I'll just handle it. That's amazing.
I'm curious what you feel about obviously you did a great job in this particular show, but I'm just wondering what how you feel about Fresh Off the Boat in general and this moment in TV. It feels like a moment,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, I when I read the pilot, I wasn't too crazy about it. I felt like I felt like it wasn't maybe gonna do justice, but seeing the first 2 episodes last week, and especially in the second episode, is it the second or the first? Second episode, where maybe it's the first, where they address the whole, chink thing. And, I'm so glad they did that because, it's just like we as adults, we haven't even seen that addressed in our line of shows, and the fact that was addressed, from a kid's version, I think was a big step. And just, overall, just the exposure for, such talented people, Randall Park and Constance Wu, they deserve it. And I hope it's a step in the right direction. I always say that, I always compare race relations with Hollywood to food. And, if you're not from a big city and you haven't had various types of ethnic foods, you get scared by it until you try it. And then you try it and you're like, oh my God, this is actually good. I remember the first time I tried Indian food, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can eat this, or even Mexican food, it's like, I don't know if I can eat this, but now I love it. You know what I mean? So it's really just the fear-based dilemma that we're facing. And I think that with the show, hopefully that fear will start to dissipate.
Awesome. CS, I just want to thank you for your time and great job on tonight's episode. And thanks for being on the show, man. I'll let you go.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
Take care, man.
Thank you.
Okay.
Woo! That was C.S. Lee, who played Uncle Steve on tonight's episode of Success Perm, it's called.
Yes.
And he was rocking Success Perm.
Yay, CS Lee.
You want to talk about Success Perm?
Oh my gosh, Success Perm was there's so much to talk about. But right now, can I just make a comment? I'm just quickly looking over this chat and like, what is up with like all of this, like, why is shit popping off right now on the chat? Don't fight in the chat. Can you just make sure we're respectful and don't be assholes?
There are a lot of comments on here I did not see.
No assholes and
mama.
Stuff, huh?
What's going on here?
If people want to discuss white people, then that's gonna happen. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on here. So let's just be chill and let's just express ourselves.
I look at it says like Harry Shum. I was like, Harry Shum's not in this show. Like, all right, I can't.
Anyway, I can't look at this right now.
Fast. Okay, I should have thought about this.
We'll look at it. We'll cover you. We'll cover you. Keep chatting. But just, when you chat, feel free to just like put in the kind of comments that you would want us to aggregate, because we can't look at every single little dialogue piece that you put in the chat, or tweet at us at Fresh Off the Air. But anyway, so let's go. We talked about episode 3. Now episode 4 is Success Perm.
Yeah.
There is so much going on in Success Perm, you guys. Like, honestly, I have to almost review my own tweets because there are so many moments on Success Perm, because it's the coming of the in-laws, right? Of like, we get to see Jessica Huang's family, right? We get to see, okay, let me just be clear. It's Jessica Huang's actual sister, right?
Yes, and then
it's the Jessica Huang side, and then her mom, right?
Yeah.
And then so it's the brother-in-law who's Uncle Steve.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So what I loved about this is it's straight up highlighted in a totally, of course, sitcom comical way, the sibling rivalry. And the interaction of like trying to vie for mom's attention.
That passive-aggressive subtitle exchange was like,
oh my
genius.
God. Subtitling the subtext. Why has no one on sitcom television done that?
That was pretty genius.
So genius. Especially because we're also playing in this like idea around subtitling the bilingualness, that we're also subtitling the shade.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I was like overwhelmed with how beautiful that was.
It was expert level comedy there. Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know. In the realm of TV sitcoms, I feel like it's art.
Yeah. I love them like cleaning the hell out of the house, knowing that throwing change into the couch cushions.
I'll list all the things. Cleaning the house in preparation for people to come over. So classic. Moving the children's bedroom into the closet or the pantry. That is the equivalent of my family. Like literally, I am the youngest, and we had so many people from Taiwan come. I swear to God, the third bedroom, we had this 10 by 10 bedroom. I was always out of there, man. There was no way.
Did you see the kid? He was using a rice bag as a pillow, and sack of rice as a pillow. Dude, shout out to Ian Chen and Forrest Wheeler who played those two younger brothers. These scene stealers,
They're
man.
like killing it.
Total scene stealers.
They killed it in just going back with the block party. Ian Chen killed it with the ladies, right? Recounting the lady conversation. But back to Success Perm. And then there's competitive bargain shopping. Like, I'm gonna make my mom kind of crack a smile by talking about how much I got off my designer items, which my family wasn't as much of a what they call like a new immigrant Taiwanese new money type of like I like labels kind of a family, even though that was a part of our community. But I can totally see that, like, just straight up, like, could you imagine like if you had like Louis Vuitton on discount? That would have been a coup, you know what I mean? Like, I just it was so funny that they competed. So many jokes. Yeah.
I also, the other thing that was kind of struck me was that was total 90s for me, was the introduction of the cousin.
Yes.
The cousin who supposedly introduced Eddie to hip hop. I forgot. I think his name is Justin. His name is Justin. And,
he evolved.
And when he shows up, he's wearing that Nirvana shirt, and I was like, "Oh my god,
He's all emo.
This is just, you know, I don't know how it was at your school, but circa around the time when Nirvana really popped off, I mean, there was kind of a significant divide amongst the student body. It's like you were either into rap or you were either into grunge, you know?
Because the thing that the kids these days don't know is back in the day when it was harder to like find your subculture because shit just wasn't available for everyone on the internet, you kind of locked in, you know what I mean? And I feel like my upbringing was very like in North High School or Magruder Middle School or Edison Elementary. It was all hip hop all day. It was all hip hop. Like, and if you're Asian American, there's a lot of Asians in Torrance. Like, you had to choose a side. Like, it's weird. Like, it's almost like you had to choose blackness or whiteness, you know? And for us, it was like hip hop. We made fun of the white kids because we made fun of like Nirvana, all this stuff. I didn't discover Nirvana and grunge until after the 90s. Like, I was like, oh, this was kind of good. Like, some of it was kind of good. Like, but yeah, like that to me was definitely so real. Like, this is before you could just Google like, oh, who's Eddie Vedder, you know, and then be like, oh, okay, I could be about that. But before, it was more like you had to hunt down the thing,
right,
and get what he meant. Why does he sing like he has marbles in his mouth? You know what I mean? Whatever.
Well, there's definitely that. You know, I've heard in interviews that they not only was, you know, Eddie grew up in the 90s, but it's also like that was a distinct time where before the internet, before you could find your subculture, like, you know, the people you connected with online, like you were isolated, you know? And so it definitely speaks to that sort of that idea that, you know, you sort of, you gleaned on to sort of one kind of identity, you know?
Totally.
Clearly this show is partial to hip hop, you know what I mean? And cause, you know, Justin kind of goes down like a chump, you know, with his emo, like,
I know. But can I just say, like, the soundtrack, they need to make like a compilation for this show. Like, because seriously, like, K-Day still exists, right? Yeah, K-Day still exists. K-Day here in LA plays this stuff a lot. But like, whoever is doing the music for this, they are like only picking the choice hits. Yeah. They are. Like,
I'm not quite sure I've ever heard Old Dirty Bastard on like primetime network television. Like, ever, you know? Yeah. So.
Crazy. Anyway, but yeah, so that's, and we have to shout out, speaking of hip hop, how hard the theme song goes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, how
it's Danny Brown.
Danny Brown. It's probably the hardest hitting hip hop TV theme song in the game. Like, I would put it toe to toe with. It's like the opposite of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I'm sorry. I know people really love. People really love the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. It brings you back, but I mean, it's you know, it's goofy.
Yeah, it's goofy, but this is it goes hard.
Awesome.
It goes pretty hard, and that's what's awesome about it. So yeah, so that's on the hip hop tip. The other thing I really love was the fact that we got to see two grandmas together.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen two subtitled Mandarin Chinese speaking like Asian ladies or just Asian ladies in general on network television. The last time I saw two Asian ladies like who are older talking to each other is maybe Joy Luck Club, but that was like in a movie. Don't you think?
Or a documentary.
Or like a documentary about China.
and the grandma.
And no one's watching that.
And the grandmas have clearly shown. Grandma Huang has clearly shown that she is the most gangster person on TV.
Oh my God,
mean,
Grandma
she's
Huang.
tough. She's badass.
Grandma Huang is like, I feel like we're gonna start a Grandma Huang fan club at some point.
She's the unsung hero of the.
She is.
Yeah.
What I love is that because I mean, I think as someone who grew up with like just straight up Mandarin Chinese in the household, I always had this huge partition in my brain because I'm bicultural, right? Where it's like home is Mandarin Chinese and external life is English. And to me, to be able to see in the context of this like English comedy narrative and people throwing jokes that grandma could be telling jokes in Chinese is like it kind of makes me feel things. It's,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I kind of get what you mean. I mean, I
know.
get what you mean in terms of like,
She gets zingers, man.
we're kind of terrible in this country about the way we treat the elderly, right? But I think in the Asian American community also, it's like, we're taught to treat our elders with respect and everything like that. But I think in a lot of ways, you kind of, growing up, you sort of discount, like once you become an old Asian person, you don't, like your opinions are like, you don't matter to me, whatever, like you're uncool, you're totally uncool.
We totally
like
dismiss
you
folks
dismiss
who are
them,
older. Yeah.
It's really fun to see her have a voice and be like part of this in the mix, I really like that.
And they have their own lives, right? That the fact that like we actually see that there's some kind of private life, interests of the grandmas, how they like bonded over OJ, even though it was kind of messed up that they thought that not all black men look alike. Let's be honest.
I did not see where that was going with the whole OJ plot. Like,
I mean, that's like a total thing though, honestly. Like my mom, okay, I'll be honest. Like my mom, she straight up, whenever I had friends over, she totally racially profiled. Like she was not even trying to like learn their names. It was just like, oh, it's the Korean one. It's the black one. It's the white one. And like, that's kind of part of it. But yeah, like I think that was interesting to see that they were super into the OJ trial, which is a total like drama of its time.
Straight up like that's again another. Now, do you think the show has too many like 90s references, or is it like, I feel like it's Taz is shaking her head like vigorously.
Not enough.
I mean, the 90s was my jam. I came of age in the 90s, so I feel when I see that, I'm like, I love every bit of this. But I'm just wondering, like, the dial-up modem part. I mean, like,
I was having horrible flashbacks.
It was, I was like, oh man, I wonder if like kids are watching this and like really get this at all,
Yeah.
The dial-up, they even know that sound, I don't know.
The
totally dating
the struggle that is the static AOL static dial-up static. I'm gonna take a look at some of the fresh off the air hashtag comments because that's kind of the segment. We're segmenting, you guys. What do you guys think? Maybe we should kind of see while we kind of look. Do you want to? I could look on the comments if you want to field some comments from our studio audience.
Okay. Does anyone in our studio audience have a question
or a comment?
Yes, Jaws.
Jaws. At Jaws.
I want to say I don't think I've ever seen Asian American couple in bed together talking to each other.
Asian. Okay, so just to repeat, I don't know if it was heard, but Jaws said she has never seen an Asian American couple in bed together on TV.
Well, talking to each other.
They're just talking.
Stuff,
oh, girl.
Yeah.
How about in a sitcom? For sure, not in a sitcom.
Yeah, in a sitcom. We haven't seen that, right?
That's such a it's funny observation. When that shot happened on the show, I was a little bit like just taken aback a little bit, just because like I don't know if I've seen that particular they're not even doing it, they're just talking, but like I don't know, I've seen that combination just in life.
Except in my bedroom. Hey. We haven't seen this in life. We haven't seen parental units talking in bed in a public forum like, say, a sitcom. Let's be honest.
It's funny because I think like immediately think of like the Brady Bunch. There's always like Mike and Carol always in bed like talking about something, and I haven't seen any Asian Americans do that. I haven't seen many Asian American sitcoms, to be honest. So
right.
yeah.
So that used to be a thing, like in the Cosby Show, right? Claire and Heathcliff in bed talking about the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I saw Jessica and Lewis in there, I was like, whoa, like that's so cool. Like I've never seen that.
Yeah, totally.
Can folks hear Jaws' voice when she spoke? I mean, we're just reiterating basically that.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen that. It's like, it's almost like, when they like back in the, 50s or 60s, like Lucille Ball and Ricky Ricardo weren't able to be shown in the same bed or something. And it's like interracial-ish.
Totally.
It was like, ish.
It was.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. Question from Naomi.
Because you talked about, Mandarin Chinese being in the show, do you think Fresh Off the Boat can not just be about an Asian American family, that this could be a transnational, comedy, like Welcome to Sweden is aired both in the United States and Sweden because of the bilingual nature of that show. Do you think Fresh Off the Boat can have that same capacity of just not being an American show, but being maybe a show to air in Taiwan and in China or Hong Kong or anything like that? What are your guys' thoughts?
You have to repeat the question.
So the question, if I'm getting this right, is that do you think that does this show have sort of the capacity and the potential to be a hit elsewhere in the world, right? Yeah, international appeal, particularly in somewhere like China, Taiwan, etc. I don't know. What do you think? I feel like, you know what? I feel like this show is so American.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
super
And it's hard.
American.
It's super American. Obviously, there's a lot that has Asian American, but there's the whole thing with the NASCAR, and everyone always says that comedy is super hard to translate internationally. It's a challenge. It's not impossible, but I don't know. I really feel like there's so much about this that is so US of A. I don't know. That's not means they couldn't go overseas, but let's work on it being a hit here first.
Yeah, for real. Well, Daryl Watson Jr. at Brother Soul, that's Seoul as in Seoul, Korea, says that the Eddie versus the cousin beef, retro 90s beef, was real, man. Hip hop versus grunge.
Yeah.
That was like a dividing line.
Yeah,
like
that was real.
you had to choose sides.
Yeah.
But now everyone is like, after a while though, people started doing like rock and hip hop mashups. So.
I think that it's a little more fluid now, but back then it was like the lines were divided,
Yeah, we said we were gonna go to 9:45, but I think I feel like maybe we want to take a few more minutes to look at some comments, or if anyone in here, we have a little more time. Are you guys down to chat a little more? You guys want to comment more, especially our studio audience? Man, give it up to our studio audience. Yes,
Thanks
killing
for coming
it.
out, guys.
Killing it. Yeah. Okay, so we have tweeting at Just Fun Queers.
What about the anti-blackness?
I know we need to talk about that.
Yeah,
The anti-blackness stuff.
yeah.
I know.
The first episode with, it was called Shake
Yeah.
by the African-American boy.
The African American boy was the one that called Eddie Huang Chink in the first episode. Yeah, and there's some jockeying for position. It was explicit conversation around hierarchies, the racial hierarchies, which I think honestly was very sophisticated.
I think so.
It's sad though that I feel like sometimes with because it's a sitcom and it's casual pop culture that might be missed. The fact that there was this like discussion around they're fighting for the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how that's actually speaks to a bigger system.
Yeah.
But like a casual watcher of the sitcom might just be like, yo, the black kid's just talking shit about the Asian kid.
Yeah.
And it frames that triangulation of race that happens.
It frames-
Race is like black and white, and then they're like,
Aaron O'Brien is saying it frames like this like triangulation of race between black, white, and Asian. Like it's always got to be this like divide and conquer thing, basically, right?
I mean, I think it is super sophisticated to have to at least try to attempt to have this dynamic of depict this dynamic of like, dude,
It's hard.
It sucks being at the bottom.
Yeah.
Basically, just scraping to see who's second to the bottom, and that,
Yeah.
and in that episode, in that same episode, Eddie throws, the other black kid off. He throws him under the bus, to go sit at the white kid's table, and then finds himself rejected, and
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I'll just throw this out there. Anti-blackness is a reality in Asian immigrant communities. That's just the fact. So I'm just gonna state that I grew up around it. Like it's inside me, the racism. So it's like, and because of the kind of population that came to America from Asia after post 65, because of specific immigration policy, we have actually a lot of fairly privileged folks as well as not so privileged folks who came from Asia. And so it kind of makes our like Asian American population kind of weird, right? In terms of like our experiences and how we're positioned economically and power rise in relation to black folks in America. And so that's what makes this really tough, man. Like, how do you acknowledge the fact that, the fact that like the grandmas were straight up saying, oh, the guy at the door looks like OJ Simpson is so real. It's so real. Like my mom will be like, yeah, that black guy looks like that black guy. She would totally say that,
but it's also like race 20 years ago.
It's also race 20 years ago. Yeah. I actually have to say though, my mom has evolved in her perspective on race, definitely since the 90s. But yeah, I mean, it's real. So that's the thing. It's like, I feel like the kind of the beef between minority groups, we tend to not want to talk about it in public. And so for us to have this show where that's like front and center.
Yeah. I think it would have been more too convenient to have the person who slings a racial slur at Eddie in the first episode to be the big bad white guy. That's too easy. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's to be that.
Instead of, but instead do the black kid.
I think that it sets it up so that like at least you can that there is that weird terrible dynamic of people fighting at the bottom. It's
and
like,
that's true, and that's like a
totally
real
true.
thing.
It's like,
a real thing.
And I know that the show. I don't mean to spoil anything, but I know that that character, the kid comes back, and there is a relationship that's formed. It's furthered. It's becomes more complex.
Okay, so the African American kid that called Eddie Chink in the first episode, he comes back, and there's relationship.
I don't actually know
maybe?
what. I just know that he'll be back, and that a relationship develops, and so there's more to it.
Yeah.
It would suck if it was just left at that. But he was back in that in the Jordans episode. In a weird way, that kid is also he's also the one who's able to step back from it and be like, this school is ridiculous.
No, it's true. Yeah. Like we have to have that kid in there because he's the only representation of blackness in his body too, right? Yeah. So the hip hop is a huge representation of blackness in the show. But like for him as a character, he's like a huge role. And like, I think it would be missing if we had a show that's so heavily hip hop that's Asian American, which is great because Asian Americans claim, a lot of hip hop to their core, but like that, if there wasn't actually some, black characters to represent that perspective too. I think, man, we want to see you more. Like we should get his actual name instead of me calling him Black
His name
Kid.
Is Prophet Bolden. Yeah.
Prophet Bolden?
Yeah.
Is his real actor name?
Yeah.
That's an amazing name.
And I know that he and
That's a beautiful name.
He and Hudson are friends and
sweet.
they like hang out and stuff. So
nice. I wonder if Prophet Bolden really is into hip hop. I know Eddie we interviewed Eddie, the little Hudson in our Angry Asian America ISA TV show. And he actually commented that he wasn't really that into hip hop before the show.
Yeah.
But
he had to get a crash course.
But like Randall Park, of course, is all about hip hop. Is really great at teaching him about stuff. Randall used to be a rapper. Also, great find on posting a video of Randall Park back in the day.
Y'all who don't know, Randall was actually kind of a ill MC with his band Ill Again here in LA, and he did that for a little while. I'd like to see a reunion concert.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently Hudson's getting schooled on hip hop now that he's been playing Eddie Wong. But yeah, I'm loving some of the fresh off the air comments.
I've not been able to look.
Yeah, I love that Ruel Gaviola would have loved to see Uncle Steve's business as a GeoCities page. Shout out to GeoCities.
Damn.
GeoCities, where you at?
Damn, taking it back. That's so good.
A furniture store by Uncle Steve on GeoCities. Damn. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, Jaws put up the photo of Lewis and Jessica in bed talking. It's so intimate and cute.
It's actually like a great image.
Oh, that's a great one. Jaws is quick on the images. You good, Jaws. That's J-O-Z.
All right. So we're kind of time to wrap up time. Actually, we're running close to the end. We want to throw out a couple plugs.
Yeah, a couple plugs. We have shout out to 108 viewers, man. What's
108.
up? What's up? If you haven't commented on Twitter, just hashtag fresh off the air just to let us know that you're one of the people who watched us, because we would love to count up all the 108 viewers and say what's up. And hopefully next Tuesday we catch you here. Regular time slot is 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. because this is only a double episode tonight. So, next Tuesday, 8:35 is when we're going to be live again, and we'll be posting on a Facebook event and on Angry Asian Man's blog, a YouTube link again. But if you don't have Twitter, don't worry. Hashtag Fresh Off the Air on Facebook. We'll look it up on Facebook too. just be like, yo, I was watching, and maybe comment too, like what you loved about the show or not, you know? And if you have a specific question for us or topic for us to discuss for next Tuesday, let us know too on Fresh Off the Air.
Yeah.
Hashtag on Facebook or Twitter.
We want to thank Visual Communications, who's
Production support.
Yeah, helped us produce this event. We're here at their offices, and we want to plug the Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival, which is happening in April. Mark your calendars.
Shout out to LA Asian Pacific American
LAAPFF.
LAPFF.
Check it out at vconline.org. Check that out.
VConline.org. We'll put that up here.
Can
even though we're gonna quit pretty soon.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding.
Jenny, where can people find you online?
You can find me at jennyyang.tv or Twitter at jennyyangtv. Always.
You can find me at angryasianman.com.
But yeah, Visual Communications, Angry Asian Man, Disoriented Comedy, jennyyang.tv, and our co-producer, Angry Plus One, Joanna Lee. Thank you. Shout out for tech support and overall moral support.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you to our live studio audience.
Yay!
This was fun. We'll do it again.
102 viewers.
Yeah.
You won.
I won.
You guessed it.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Bye.